were deeply suspicious. If you could brew a tea that soothed a cough, you might have studied under a healer. But if it actually worked, you had clearly made a pact with the devil. See, medieval medicine relied on two things: prayer and bloodletting. And if your method didn't involve draining half the patient's fluids while muttering Latin, people assumed you had gotten your knowledge from a less heavenly source. The problem was that many women, especially midwives and older village healers, knew how to use plants for practical remedies. They could make salves for wounds, tinctures for fevers, and poultices for infections. To the average villager, this was impressive. To the local priest, this was suspiciously effective magic. It didn't help that some herbs had dual purposes. Chamomile could soothe an upset stomach, but also help someone sleep. Valerian could calm nerves, but also make people a little too calm if you used enough of it. And heaven forbid you knew about mandrake root, a plant so steeped in myth that digging it up was said to cause screaming that could kill you. Just owning some meant you probably used it to hex people in your spare time. Accusations often started small. You'd give a man a peppermint infusion for his indigestion. Later, he'd be seen feeling better, and instead of thanking you, someone would whisper, "That's not medicine. She's bewitched his insides." Next thing you know, you're on trial for sorcery, your entire garden being presented as Exhibit A. In fact, one of the more damning pieces of evidence in witch trials was the possession of an herb book, even if it was just a badly illustrated guide to which plants weren't edible. To the court, this wasn't education, it was a spell book in disguise. In the modern world, being left-handed just means you have a slightly harder time using scissors and will always smudge your handwriting. In the Middle Ages, it meant you were probably on Satan's payroll. The very word for left in Latin, sinister, eventually gave us the English word for evil. That's how deep the bias ran. Right-handedness was associated with order, goodness, and divine favour. Left-handedness? That was chaos, deception, and black magic. Basically, if God was right-handed, the devil was a southpaw. If you wrote with your left hand, you were writing backward. A suspicious skill that looked unnatural to medieval eyes. And let's be honest, medieval handwriting already looked like a series of arcane runes, so doing it left-handed probably looked like you were channeling dark forces. It didn't help that being left-handed made you stand out. People didn't like different in the Middle Ages. They liked exactly the same as the rest of us, so we can all sleep at night knowing nobody is secretly summoning storms. If you picked up a tool